Have you noticed something strange? People have more ways to meet than ever before, thousands of profiles, endless messages, and dating apps sitting in your pocket 24/7. And yet, so many people feel more alone than ever. Maybe you felt it too. You talk to someone for weeks, the conversation feels exciting, and you start imagining possibilities. Then suddenly, they disappear. No explanation, no closure, just silence. After a while, you start wondering, why is this so hard, or am I doing something wrong? But what if the real answer isn't about you at all? What if dating feels harder in 2026 because of a psychological shift almost nobody talks about? Imagine this. You meet someone online. Their profile seems perfect. You start chatting, and they're funny, attractive, and interesting. For a moment, it feels like something real could happen. Then one night while scrolling, you see another profile. And another, and another. Someone slightly funnier, slightly more attractive, or slightly more successful. Suddenly, the person you were excited about yesterday doesn't feel quite as special anymore. So you keep looking. And the other person is probably doing the exact same thing. This creates a strange cycle. Nobody feels fully satisfied, but nobody feels fully committed either. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. When humans have too few options, we feel trapped. But when we have too many options, we become anxious. Every choice means giving up hundreds of others. And that's exactly what modern dating has become. Not a search for connection, but a search for the best possible option. The problem is that human beings were never designed to compare thousands of potential partners. Our brains evolved in small communities, small circles, and small numbers. Today, a single swipe session can expose you to more romantic options than your ancestors saw in years. Slowly, something changes. People stop asking, "Can I build something meaningful with this person?" and start asking, "Could there be someone better?" It's a tiny shift, but it changes everything. Because connection requires presence, and comparison destroys presence. Think about it. Have you ever gone out with someone who was genuinely kind, but your mind kept searching for something missing? Maybe they weren't exciting enough. Maybe they weren't attractive enough. Maybe their texts weren't perfect enough. The strange thing is, sometimes the problem wasn't the person. It was the endless comparison happening inside your head. And social media makes this even worse. Every day we're exposed to highlight reels. Perfect couples, romantic vacations, engagement announcements, and anniversary surprises. We don't see the arguments, insecurities, or difficult conversations. We only see the polished version. As a result, real relationships start feeling disappointing compared to imaginary ones. And that's dangerous because fantasy always wins against reality. Reality has flaws. Fantasy doesn't. But there's another psychological reason dating feels harder now, and this one hurts a little more. Many people aren't afraid of rejection anymore. They're afraid of vulnerability. Rejection is painful, but vulnerability feels risky. To truly connect with someone, you have to be seen. Not the filtered version. Not the curated version. The real version. Your fears, your insecurities, and your imperfections. In a culture where everyone is constantly managing how they're perceived, being genuinely vulnerable can feel terrifying. So people stay guarded. Conversations stay surface level. Connections stay temporary. Everyone wants intimacy, but few people feel safe enough to create it. That's why so many modern relationships feel stuck. Not because people don't care, but because everyone is protecting themselves at the same time. Here's the twist. The thing most people think will protect them is often the thing preventing them from finding what they want. Keeping options open. Avoiding emotional risk. Staying detached. Never getting too invested. It feels safe. But safety and connection don't always grow together. Sometimes connection requires uncertainty. Sometimes it requires choosing someone before you're completely sure. Sometimes it requires accepting that no person will ever be perfect. Because love isn't finding someone who checks every box. It's building something meaningful with someone who never could. And maybe that's the realization more people need in 2026. Dating hasn't become impossible. Humans haven't forgotten how to connect. The technology changed. The environment changed. The psychology changed. But the deepest human need stayed exactly the same. People still want to feel understood, seen, chosen. Not because they're the best option, but because they're someone's option. So if dating has felt harder lately, maybe the answer isn't finding more people. Maybe it's learning how to see the people already in front of you. Because sometimes the connection you're searching for isn't hiding behind the next swipe. It's hiding behind the courage to stop swiping and start seeing.